Hi, my name's Jim Wright. I'm an ITA tennis official. With iOnCourt, I thought it might be helpful for some of you who've never used it to create an informal video of some of the more common uses of iOnCourt when you're in the chair. I'm far from an expert. I've only used it a couple of times myself. However, I thought I'd make this video and let everybody put in their own tips and techniques underneath it on YouTube if they have some. I'm not affiliated with iOnCourt in any way. I don't know the developers. I just thought it would be a nice thing to do to help the officiating community. So here we go. Informal, 10 minutes long. Good luck on your officiating.
Let's spend a little time talking about the layout of the screen. There's the two areas that you record the scores on, corresponding to the players on either side of the chair. There's the ace button, the fault button that turns into a double fault button, the foot fault, the undo button that allows you to get out of trouble if you accidentally press the wrong thing, and the stopwatch area that can be used to time changeovers, points, and set breaks.
Prior to the match, you may want to hop up in the chair and take a look at your tablet. You'll be confronted with a screen that looks like this that may have even more matches on it. Use your finger to pull it down from the top of the screen, and this will refresh the lineup in case the coach has changed lineups between doubles and singles. Once it returns, click on the More button on the lower right-hand side, and then you'll see a screen like this. Click on Chair Official, and you'll see a screen like this. And then click on Start Match. Once you do your coin flip at the net strap, you'll know who will be the server, and you'll announce it to the crowd, and then you'll select the server on this screen. If you notice that the server and the receiver are on the opposite sides of the court, you would simply click on the button in the lower left hand with the arrows to reverse the servers. But in our case, the server is on our left hand side, and therefore the Illinois player is signified as a server by the black dot next to his name. Okay, so the server now is serving, and this is the very first point of the game. Server hits the ball long, so I tap the right side of the screen. It's love 15. Now the server is serving the second point of the game. Longer point than the first point. And the receiver hits the ball into the net. So now I tap the left button. It's 15 all. Server is now serving. Good call on the baseline. And the server wins the point. So I tap the left button. 30-15. Server is again serving and hits a winner. So therefore it's 40-15. I tap the left button. The first serve is a fault, so I tap on fault. Now it turns into double fault. Now the point is underway. And the server wins the point, so I go ahead and tap on the left side of the screen, and obviously it gives the game to Illinois and switches ends on your screen, and the players will switch ends on the one love switch. So now let's move ahead to the first point in the second game. The first point in the second game turns out to be a double fault. So the server serves the first fault. And as you can see, the button turns into a double fault button. Therefore, the server serves the second serve, and it's also a fault. Simply press the double fault button, and as you can see, the Illinois player gets the point at 15 love. Let's move ahead to the final point of the third game, which is a deuce point. As you can see, once a deuce point is reached, you must choose a returning side, either deuce or add. In this case, it's a deuce court return selected by the receiver. Then once the point is won, in this case by the Illinois side, tap the point and the game goes to Illinois. And again, the teams are on opposite ends of the court after the changeover. So now let's move to the final points of the first set at 5-3, 30 love. The server, left side of the chair, wins the point, but the chair taps the right side by mistake. Simply tap undo and it takes away that point, and then tap the left side, the correct side, to make the score 40 love. The server wins the next point, and the chair taps the left side of the score button, and as you can see, the set score is recorded 6-3, and iOnCourt knows to move the teams to the opposite ends. At 2-1 in the second set, the server serves an ace. The chair simply taps the ace button, and iOnCourt makes the score 40 love. Okay, let's briefly look at overrules. So let's say we have a player that commits a bad call on our near sideline. Simply touch overrules, near sideline, and save. And you can see the X appears next to the overrules, but you notice the score hasn't been updated. So you still have to press the score. And now let's say that player commits 2 other bad calls immediately. So we're going to go ahead and say far sideline, save, add the point, and then we're going to say one more, baseline, save, add the point, and we all know that 3 overrules equals 1 code. So now we have to administer the code violation. So code, point, and unsportsmanlike conduct, save it, and the point is automatically given to the other player. Now, this player really didn't do all that. So let's go ahead and erase all those overrules, but the only way to do that is to click on violations up here and then choose all the overrules and delete. It will confirm a delete and so on. Now let's talk about time violations. Up in the upper bar, you can see time. Click on time, and you can enter a reason or not here, but let's say too long to serve, save, and you have a time violation that's been given. You can give them a second time violation for later in the game. Let's say we aren't going to give them a reason. Hit save, but as you notice, there wasn't really a point given, even though that is a point, and so you have to manually give the point. Finally, let's look at breaks. So we've been pretty hard on the Arizona player. Let's go ahead and click on break. And MTOs and toilet breaks can be recorded here. Your referee may have further instructions for you, but if you click on a medical timeout, you can see the options you have there, including enter a reason. And I'm not going to go ahead and save this, or maybe I will. And that's all there is to breaks. Now let's look at the very top of the screen where you see the scoring, points, and violations banners. So if you go up to points, it should show you a list of all the points played in the game, which could be helpful if somebody was questioning which point did I lose. The violations banner simply shows what type of breaks, timeouts, codes, time interruptions the players have had. And then going back to scoring, that's the screen that we've been familiar with this entire time. So now let's move to the end of the match. It is love 30, and the server serves. The first serve is a fault. And as you can see, the button turned to double fault now. And the second serve is also a fault. Tap the double fault, and you can see the point is recorded. The next point is the end of the match. Tap on the point, and as you can see, the match has ended with a check mark for the player winning the match. Let's spend a couple seconds talking about what happens at the end of a match that doesn't complete. Up in the upper right-hand corner, the dots that looks like a square, press that, and as you scroll down, you'll see Stop Match. You can click on Stop Match, and probably the most common thing to do is abandon a match. Click on Abandon, and that match is abandoned. Like anything almost, you can undo that by pressing undo. And now we're back in the match. But now we're going to stop it again with a retirement. So I'm going to press that same square in the upper right-hand corner. Stop match. And now it's a retirement. And it's asking which player retired. I'm going to say the Arizona player retired. And now the match has stopped. Again, the check mark is there for the Illinois player. I hope this tutorial was helpful to many of you. It was recorded in March of 2024, and undoubtedly iOnCourt will continue to be enhanced, so therefore some of these techniques may change. Good luck and happy officiating.